Are rising ahead of the open. Reports say that Beijing has given Chinese companies the green light to purchase those H200 chips. The Journal says the announcement came as NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang visits China. Some of the companies that were approved included Alibaba, ByteDance, and Tencent. And that comes amid a strong backdrop for semis today. Both ASML and SK Hynix reported strong fourth quarter results overnight, and shares both in those countries and the U.S. listed shares of ASML have been rising. Next up is
According to Reuters, which cited two people with knowledge of the situation, China has authorized its first imports of NVIDIA's H200 AI chips. This is an indication that Beijing is adjusting its position as it balances attempts to advance domestic development against the growing demand for AI. According to two people with knowledge of the situation, who were quoted by Reuters, the clearances, which cover several 100,000 H200 chips, were given during NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang's trip to China this week. Due to the delicate nature of the subject, the sources requested to remain anonymous. Three significant Chinese internet companies received the majority of the first round of import clearances, according to one of the sources, while other businesses are currently waiting for further approvals. The businesses that were first given the go-ahead were not identified. According to a Bloomberg story last week, Chinese authorities have granted Alibaba, Tencent Holdings, and ByteDance permission to proceed to the next round of their preparations for possible acquisitions of NVIDIA's H200 chips. The persons who asked to remain anonymous stated that the corporations are now free to talk about details like the quantities they would need in private discussions. According to the article, Beijing would require corporations to purchase a specific quantity of homegrown chips in order to be approved, albeit no precise figure has been determined. At the time of publication, NVIDIA and the Chinese Ministries of Industry and Commerce had not replied to requests for comment. NVIDIA's second most potent AI chip, the H200, has taken center stage in U.S.-China technology ties. Although Washington officially authorized NVIDIA to sell the technology to Chinese consumers earlier this month, shipments still needed Chinese government clearance. Despite high demand from Chinese companies, Beijing's hesitancy has been the primary barrier to imports up until this point. According to Reuters earlier this month, Chinese customs officials had previously informed agents that H200 chips were not allowed to enter the nation. The market's demand has been in stark contrast to that uncertainty. According to a Reuters article last month, Chinese tech businesses have ordered over 2 million H200 chips, significantly more than NVIDIA has on hand. The approvals imply that Beijing is giving top priority to the demands of big internet firms, who are investing billions of dollars in data centers to create AI services and take on U.S. competitors like OpenAI. For massive AI models to be trained and operated at scale, access to state-of-the-art hardware is considered essential. Although Chinese chipmakers, such as Huawei, have created devices that compete with NVIDIA's H20 chip, which was formerly the most sophisticated processor NVIDIA was permitted to sell to China, they are still far behind the H200. According to NVIDIA, the H200 outperforms the H20 by almost 6 times. To boost local producers and lessen long-term reliance on foreign technology, Beijing has nevertheless talked of requiring enterprises purchasing a specific amount of domestic semiconductors in order to receive permissions for the import of foreign chips. It's unclear what standards regulators are applying to determine eligibility or how many more businesses will be approved in subsequent rounds. Huang traveled to Beijing and other locations after arriving in Shanghai last Friday for customary yearly activities with NVIDIA's China employees, highlighting the significance of the Chinese market to the business. For the time being, the few approvals show how Beijing is carefully striking a balance between promoting its desire for technological independence and speeding up AI research. Join our investor community. Hit subscribe and like to get your daily NVIDIA stock insights and tutorials delivered. After a 6% weekly increase, NVIDIA is currently trading at $180.52. Despite expert consensus aiming for $253, prediction markets offer only 6% probability that the stock will reach $200 by the end of the month. Someone is severely mistaken. During the Q3 earnings call, Jensen Huang outlined the course of action. I think that until we upgrade $1 trillion worth of data centers, there won't be any digestion. And suppose that there are a few $1 trillion worth of computer data centers in the world by 2030. NVIDIA's gross margins on the infrastructure that drove this change were 73.4%. His thesis is supported by the data. Revenue in Q3 was $57 billion, a 62.5% increase from the previous year. The company grew rapidly due to data center revenue. Before the chip even ramps up manufacturing, Blackwell apparently receives orders totaling over $10 billion. CoreWeave just secured a $2 billion investment from NVIDIA to construct more than 5 gigawatts of AI factories by 2030. Instead of the bubble-level 50x that bears reference, forward PE is at 24x. The current valuation prices modest growth rather than perfection, if you believe analysts' revenue predictions for 2026. The multiple is justified by growth, according to the P/E ratio of 0.70. The Maya 200 chip was just introduced by Microsoft. In the market for AI chips, AMD is still making progress. Google, Amazon, and Meta all use proprietary silicon for AI inference. The hyperscalers detest vendor lock-in and spend $300 billion a year on infrastructure. The beat magnitude of NVIDIA is decreasing. Early in 2024, the company outperformed projections by greater margins. In subsequent quarters, the difference has decreased. Future surprises will be more difficult as analysts catch up. When trading at 24x projected earnings, growth rates have slowed from fiscal 2025 levels. There is no euphoria among Reddit users. Instead of the 70-plus values that anticipate crashes or rallies, sentiment ratings are typically between 45 and 60, neutral. The post, "Google is about to replace NVIDIA as the world's #1 value company," went viral and received 2,138 upvotes. Instead of stocking up, retail investors are hedging. The $200 case requires Q4 earnings that demonstrate Blackwell's revenue is increasing, margins remain above 70%, and China's certification of the H200 translates into consistent orders. If infrastructure expenditure picks up speed and AMD's gains stem from market expansion rather than NVIDIA's share, then bulls win. The under $150 case requires either disappointing earnings outlook, a client announcing significant AMD wins, or margin compression. If growth rates continue to slow down and the market views NVIDIA as an established business, the bears will prevail. It appears that neither scenario has prevailed in the stock market. Prior to overbought signs flashing, the RSI is comfortably mid-range at 54.9, with room to go towards 70, according to technical indicators. When NVIDIA releases Q4 on February 25, the true answer will be revealed. Until then, you're placing a wager on the story that the data points to. Although it wasn't a particularly easy ride, artificial intelligence, AI, stocks increased last year. These equities encountered a number of challenges, including worry about possible import tariffs, spending on AI, and a possible AI bubble. Nevertheless, I was right when I predicted that NVIDIA will be a market bellwether in 2025. In 2025, I projected that NVIDIA's stock would achieve its third straight yearly victory as the business would continue to dazzle the market and maintain gross margin levels above 70%. As a result, NVIDIA's stock increased by 38%. Let's start by discussing NVIDIA's journey from the previous year in more detail. The company faced the challenges I outlined above in addition to one more. Early in the year, NVIDIA was unable to send chips to China due to the United States' tightened export regulations. In fact, a $1 billion charge associated with this inventory that NVIDIA was unable to export caused the gross margin to drop to roughly 60% in the first quarter of the fiscal year. Nevertheless, the business's revenue continued to rise in the double digits, and its gross margin exceeded 70% in the ensuing quarters. It even accelerated in the most recent quarter, increasing 62% as opposed to 56% over the preceding 3 months. This was all made possible by the explosive growth in demand for NVIDIA's high-performing graphics processing units, GPUs, often known as AI chips, along with associated goods and services. By always innovating, NVIDIA has been able to stay ahead of its competitors and preserve its leadership. As previously said, NVIDIA had another year of gains as a result of this momentum surpassing the pressure of headwinds. Investors are curious to see if this pattern will continue as 2026 gets underway. Of course, the stock may be impacted by other factors that are beyond of NVIDIA's control, such as the tightening of export restrictions last year. Putting those concerns aside, I believe the stock will keep rising, but it will do so in the face of greater volatility. I anticipate that the current high valuation environment will occasionally affect demand for NVIDIA stock, which will cause the stock's trajectory to be nonlinear. Investors may decide against making large bets on companies that rely significantly on AI, such as NVIDIA, as they contemplate the potential for an AI bubble to form. Nevertheless, I anticipate that NVIDIA will continue to produce impressive earnings growth, and certain catalysts, like the recent U.S. decision to let NVIDIA to ship chips to China once more, could give the stock a boost. All of this suggests that, despite some challenges along the way, NVIDIA may see further advancements in 2026. Some analysts have said that NVIDIA is coming into its upcoming earnings report with a lower valuation than investors have witnessed in recent years, putting the chipmaker back in the limelight. The stock currently seems more accessible than it has since early 2023, with NVIDIA's projected PE at about 24, which many strategists refer to as the lowest level in roughly 3 years. In a recent media interview, Art Hogan, chief market strategist at B. Riley, stated that NVIDIA's forward value has dropped to levels not seen in a number of years. He claimed that rather than a decline in NVIDIA's standing in the artificial intelligence supply chain, the pullback is a reflection of a general reluctance to invest in large technology equities. Investor concerns about the amount of money being spent on AI infrastructure have caused sentiment toward big tech to weaken in recent months. According to Lori Calvasina, a strategist at RBC Capital Markets, the biggest stock's market power has diminished as leadership has shifted to a larger range of industries. According to data from Evercore ISI, as capital shifts to healthcare, energy, and industrial names, technology companies are currently trading at one of its tightest valuation advantages over the S&P 500 since the epidemic. Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, has insisted that demand patterns are still favorable. Huang stated that investment in AI infrastructure is still growing and represents long-term growth needs rather than speculative excess in a recent speech at a global economic gathering. The average target price for NVIDIA, based on the one-year price estimates provided by 58 analysts, is $254.21, with a high estimate of $432.78 and a low estimate of $138.100. From the current price of $188.52, the average goal suggests an upside of plus 34.84%. The average brokerage recommendation for NVIDIA is currently 1.8, which indicates a outperform rating based on the consensus recommendation from 66 brokerage firms. Strong buy is represented by a score of 1, and sell is represented by a score of 5. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.
So we are trying to, test this neckline that was an area of resistance here in the past. And if we're able to actually break above that level, then yes, we do see a little bit more of a breakout potential for the S&P 500 here. And this is going to be on the back of earnings, as well as maybe shrugging off some of the geopolitical risk fears that we've seen over the last couple of weeks or so here. Also kind of note, once again, the outperformance when you're looking at technology and the fact that we are starting to see a pretty decent bid within companies like Microsoft or even Apple, for that matter, I think is also driving the index higher, even though you are still seeing some of this rotation out of the broadening trade back into a narrowing type of market here, which is not a bad sign to say the least. At the end of the day, it does allow us to kind of move higher a little bit more aggressively than having a broadening trade. But we will have some earnings coming out later today that will obviously have a massive impact when it comes to the markets just in general. And then we also have the Fed meeting, which right now the market's not really pricing in anything aggressive when it comes to the reaction of the FOMC meeting here, or even Chairman Powell's comments.
Okay, let's get into these results from ASML. Strong numbers, it looks like here. What's your takeaways?
Yeah, very strong numbers. Actually, the backlog of orders is really what has surprised the street to the upside. If you're looking at revenue, that did beat the street's expectations, coming in at $11.4 billion. The street was looking for $11.1 billion. And the adjusted earnings per share came in at $8.61. It actually did miss the street's expectations, but once again, the booking number came in at $15.7 billion. That's 2 times more than analyst expectations. And that bookings number really is actually a forecast over the next 12 to 16 months of potential revenue that can hit the business. Obviously, obviously you are seeing a massive amount of demand coming from the AI data center build out here. And if you actually look at the amount of sales that are going to China, they're still decelerating at this point in time because of the export restrictions. But on the conference call, they did mention that it's normalizing. So meaning they have a base that they're able to work through and guide towards moving forward, which was one of the big headwinds for the stock last year. So overall, demand continues to rise to the upside here. They talk about the normalization, the stocks moving higher. Obviously, the memory names have definitely seen a little bit of a bid. ASML is the one that's really kind of driving a lot of those tools going to those fabrication units that are building out memory chips, as well as the GPUs as well. But memory is really the shining light within this report and as well as within the industry right now.
How much does it matter that we won't get that key number that everyone looks out for from ASML? It feels like they're pulling back a number, like, for instance, it reminds me of when Netflix was pulling back a number that Wall Street used to kind of gauge, do a temperature check. What's your thought on that?
I think right now, if you're kind of looking at the backlog of orders, that's all that the market really cares about. Even if you're kind of looking at the adjusted earnings per share or even some of the margins that are a little bit compressed, in the near term, that might not be too much of a surprise if they are kind of building out and expenses are rising. If the expenses are rising because they do see future demand actually being relatively sticky, if you will, or stable, then I think that's also going to be a positive driver for this name. Now, the stock, once again, kind of moving to the upside pretty aggressively. It's also, for relatively a thinly traded stock, not a lot of retail traders kind of get into this name, so it doesn't take much to really move it to the upside or downside. But I don't think it's a really big issue or hurdle right now. Backlog of orders is really the key metric that the market cares about, at least at the moment. Now, if we do see a stalling there, then we'll start focusing more on the operating margins of their business, the profitability to drive bottom line growth. Right now, it's all about top line growth over the next 2 years, 3 years.